Fitzgerald, Halliday. We've been working on this actual study community plan for Southpoint Open Space since basically the winter of 2016. We're starting to wrap it up, and we've been working with a lot of people. I see a number of familiar faces here who I've seen at other meetings and so forth. But I just really wanted to give you a quick overview. I know you have other things to do tonight that you want to get involved in, and you may have questions for me. So whatever I go through quickly, I want you to know that we do have a website, and I'm going to leave you with cards. We're leaving them up here. Okay, which lists our website. Everything's on it, all presentations, reports that we've done so far, and we'll continue to go on there as we move along. So. I'm not sure how to go forward. Sorry. Oh, great. Okay, quickly, I'm just going to do some introduction, a little bit about our overview, a little bit about our vision and goals, what we've done so far, our development of draft concepts, which is something we only talked about with the public about 3 weeks ago, and then our next steps, which are coming up quickly. Okay, introductions. So we have been working, RIOC actually hired us back in late 2015 to do this study. It was a competitive bid. We competed against some other teams. We were chosen. See these wonderful faces here. I'm actually sort of the senior person in charge of it, but a face that many people have been working with and seen is a woman in the middle, Mary Milton-Moore. She's been our project manager, and Jessica has also been helping us a lot during the study. And there's a few other people from our firm have been involved. We've also been working with Community Advisory Committee. We've had 3 meetings so far. We're going to have our 4th meeting coming up later next month. And there's a number of members of this, including David Lawson, who's a member of that, representing RIOC, but another other people here tonight who in other capacities have sat on that committee. And those meetings have always been open to the public, and sometimes we've had a bunch of people come, and sometimes fewer. So that's the committee that we've been working with, and they've been a tremendous help on this. And we've also been working with the community in general. I'll tell you some of the ways we've done that. So I just wanted to do that. Sorry for the key. So our task was to provide a long-range planning and implementation document to guide the future of Southpoint Park and the Smallpox Hospital over the next 10 years. That was the charge that we were given by RIOC, the charge we've been telling everybody about and involving people in. So I'm sure you know this back the back of your hand. Southpoint Park in 2004, under the Trust for Public Land, a concept plan was developed. I think it was mentioned just earlier by the speaker. And in 2011, the park was opened, not quite the same as what was originally developed, but as we see it today. The Smallpox Hospital, back in around 2008, 2009, underwent some stabilization. About $5 million was spent to stabilize the structure, and as you know, it's in really bad shape. And right now, there are ongoing studies that are just about getting ready to complete, I think at the end of the year or early next year, which is going to be looking at things they can do to not just stabilize it, but to do it in a way that it becomes a uniform structure. And I think one of the first things they're going to do is take a look at the north wall, because that's in the worst shape of everything. So those are 2 things that we just wanted to mention. Why doing this now? Obviously, Roosevelt Island is a unique environment and context with all kinds of areas, and a lot of new things have been happening. Obviously, the FDR Four Freedoms Park, Cornell, it's just to the north, Four Freedoms just to the south, other new housing on the island. So things have been changing, and we're trying to not just do this plan for those people who live and work and visit here now, but others who will be coming in the future. So we wanted to take account of those people as well. And you don't need me to tell you that this is an old photograph, because it's obviously not there anymore, but just to give you a context of Fort Freedoms, where the Cornell Tech is going up, and where the park is right now. So what we've been doing is establishing a vision, and I'm going to show you that in a moment. Did that with our committee, did that with input from the public, evaluating the existing conditions, assess opportunities, developing an illustrative concept plans. We began to show this, as I mentioned, in early November, and we will be developing an implementation plan before the end of this year. We will give some prioritization and phasing, and then take a look at least order of magnitude cost for what some of these things might cost. Where are there some possible funding opportunities if they are to move ahead, and try to identify champions in the community, in agencies, and so forth who might want to take on these things to see them through, or just to see as they move along. This is our schedule. As I mentioned, we started in about March. Let me just go one more. There we go. We are here. So it's right here, exactly, November 30th. So and we are finishing up in February, but we're actually going to have a meeting. These stars are committee meetings. We've had 3 of those. We've had a number of different public meetings. We're going to have our next one in December, our committee meeting, and then we're going to be having a public presentation to the board, to the RIOC board, and to the general public about the overall findings. Sometime in, I believe it's actually going to be sometime in January. I don't think it's been scheduled yet. And then we'll be submitting our final plan, so we'll be done in just a couple months. So I wanted to talk about the vision. This is just something that, nothing ever gets, I know a lot of people are anxious and eager for us to either finish up and show things, but we did it in a sort of a step-by-step process, something we always follow, and something as a way of introducing things to the public, getting their input as we move along. So the same thing happened with our vision. In our first meeting, with the committee, we talked with people about ideas. We took those, developed some paragraphs of a vision, took that back to the committee, asked for their input, and we made some revisions, and we continue to gather more information from the public through comments that we got and other statements. So I'm not going to read this all to you. It is on our website. It's our vision. The things I wrote in light blue, or I highlighted in light blue, are some of the highlights of the vision. Preserve and celebrate this dynamic, natural landscape and spectacular scenic viewpoints. Take into account the abilities, ages, and the interests of both current and new members of the community. Develop a flexible and adaptable design. That's something that's got to be fixed in stone, but can change over time depending on what happens on the island and what people may experience, and also, as funding or as becomes available or things happen. And then finally, to somewhat address the earlier remark, this space will always remain a natural open space. That is part of our view and our goal within this. We had a number of goals to pay attention to the cultural and historical significance, accessibility, which is why we use the word ability in the vision. We've heard that to allow people all abilities to use it. Have a comfortable and inviting space, natural environment is critical. The connection to the water. Think about ideas of public art and performance, and implement something that's sustainable. And by that I mean, I'm not talking about sustainable in terms of weather conditions, but in terms of, can this book continue on in terms of funding and support and maintenance and operations, so that we don't just put it in and then within a year nobody's maintaining it. So that's part of what we're thinking about. So what we've done so far, just wanted to, we've had, as I mentioned, we've had a website where people have submitted comments. We did pop-up outreach meetings. You may have come to some of those back in the spring. We went to one Saturday morning. We were at the Green Market. We went to a bicycle event with the helmets. And we got lots of people, particularly parents with their kids, And then on Roosevelt Island Day, we were out just in front of this, of the Good Shepherd, and altogether we had about 400 to 500 people give us their suggestions on boards about the things they liked. We had a workshop where we, back in July, unfortunately it was the hottest day of the year. In July, if anybody was there remembers that, both in terms of being in this space, which is where we had it, and we had a walking tour of Southpoint, which Judy actually famously led and sweated through and really did quite a lot. But I think that did hold back some attendance. So what we did is we put all that information on our website, and over the next, say, 4 to 6 weeks, we got another 100, 150 people leave us comments about what they saw. We've had the advisory committee meet a number of times. We did an online survey, asked people, and we got about 200, 220 people respond to that. And we had our second workshop on November 10th. And so these are just some of the community events. We took a look at some of the demographic analysis. This is just a sample of some of the things we looked at in terms of where the population is and how it's made up. And we also looked at other aspects of socioeconomic characteristics. We compared the park to other parks in New York City, Southpoint being the one up there on the top.